My name is Noelle, and I work for Organics by Gosh, and we're the compost company that works with you guys. So I'm going to talk to you about what can go in the compost bin, what zero waste is, since ACC has goals to be zero waste as well. We're in Round Rock, so we're not, and ACC is its own entity anyway, so technically it's not affected by any ordinance, but ACC is doing the right thing because they're awesome. And so you guys are collecting compost paper towels from the bathroom, and we're going to talk about different things that could be in there. I know that was a lot, so just whatever you want to translate.
Dice que estamos aquí para hablar de cómo organizar la basura en las diferentes áreas de los ACC y cómo enseñarlos a reciclar también.
Awesome. If you have questions at any point, just let me know.
Si tienen preguntas a cualquier punto, nomás déjenlos saber.
Okay. Has anybody heard of the term zero waste before in this class?
¿Hay alguien que ha escuchado acerca de Zero Waste antes?
As of today, you will have. Woo!
Empezando ahora van a escuchar de esto.
So the idea of zero waste is that 90 to 95% of all the stuff that we throw away every day does not need to go to the landfill.
Dice que ahora de lo que es la basura, el 90-95% se va a reciclar y no va a ir a la zero waste como sí.
And if you've ever been to a landfill or heard of a landfill, it's literally just a giant hole that we dig in the ground, and then we throw all of our waste into it, and then we compact it down until it fills up.
Dice que ahora se recicla en unos contenedores grandes, se comprime y eso es a donde va a ir la basura, las líneas grandes.
Which is very silly because these things can go other places. Zero waste, 90 to 95% of our materials can go into other streams. Some of them you guys already do here on campus. What else do you guys have besides trash here?
¿Qué otras cosas puede haber que no sea basura aquí?
Gabinete,
No se puede.
chair,
The what? ¿Qué?
chair, gabinete, don't know.
Yes, yeah, those are waste streams. See, yeah, because chairs break, right? What do you already have here on campus? Big blue dumpster, probably. Yeah, recyclar. See, recycling. So plastics, metal, paper, cardboard. Do you guys have a process for chairs breaking and desks breaking and those go somewhere?
¿Y saben si una silla que se quebra va a ir a algún lugar en particular?
Yo ya coloqué en la basura cuando las patas se rompieron, ¿qué hacer?
Pero ¿sabes si tenemos algún lugar que va a ir si
No.
una silla se quebra? No.
One day.
Well,
Not
let me
yet.
clarify one thing.
Yeah.
So when the chairs are in good shape, if there's a need in other campuses, we can repurpose them. If it's completely broken, if main needs metal still, then we can actually send them to the metal recycler and recycle those.
Awesome.
Dice que se puede mandar también a reciclar si no se pueden renovar o arreglar.
Awesome. So other recycling, there's other RE words like reduce, reuse, you just said repurpose, repair, refuse to have it all together if it's landfill, right? Redesign, yeah.
I have a question for you. So, let's say we had a chair that broke and we want to have it go to the metal. So do we submit a work order or do we submit an email to your department to let them know? How does that work?
If it's just an individual one, you can just simply send it to the warehouse.
Warehouse, okay.
Awesome.
Dice que se puede mandar a la warehouse. Ella está preguntando qué es lo que se puede hacer. Si hacemos una orden en la computadora o qué es lo que hacemos, dice que se puede mandar ya sea al service center con una orden de mandamiento.
Perfect. That's really great. Learning more things. So yeah, recycling, reduce, compost, feeding people, feeding animals, repurposing, repairing. All of these are things we can do with materials we throw away instead of throwing it in the trash.
Dice que lo podemos reducir para mandándolo a reciclar, haciéndolo cones, componiéndolo. Dice que de todas estas maneras podemos reducir la basura.
And I know that we're in Round Rock right now, but the city of Austin, where ACC has a lot of their campuses, has zero waste legislation. So they're working to become zero waste, which is 90 to 95% of all of our materials out of the landfill by 2040.
Dice que ahora los departamentos de la ciudad están trabajando para reducir la basura de un 90 a 95%.
That's a big goal.
And if I can add one, as you can see, 2020, 75%. City of Boston is not there yet. They are behind,
Mm-hmm.
as well as ACC. We are doing better than City of Boston, but still we are behind.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot to do.
Yeah.
Dice que tenemos mucho trabajo que hacer porque estamos muy para abajo del promedio en lo que está hablando de ACC.
So a big piece of that goal, like Andy said, is to try to be at 75% by 2020. And that's with a few different things happening. So ACC is not necessarily regulated by the City of Austin ordinances, but has decided to take on the legislation in their own space, right? For all City of Austin businesses, they're required to have recycling and composting or some sort of food diversion plan if they have a food permit. All residential homes in the City of Austin will have composting, recycling, and trash at their curbside. And then you guys have trash, recycling, and are doing composting with a particular stream, and we'll talk about that, from the bathrooms. But you guys will have that at, I think, most all of your campuses that we at least can service. So here too.
Dice que la ciudad regula todo el tiempo en Austin que tengan un compost para la basura, para los vegetales y para la basura natural, que ahora están trabajando con ACC para que para el 2020 lleguen al goal del 75%.
And that takes everybody, right? So you made a really good point earlier. What did the students do? Because they're the ones throwing stuff away, right? So it's not just you guys. Understand that it's a whole team effort, right? But you guys are a really important piece as the custodian staff because you guys are the ones pulling the material and you guys are the ones able to see if there's the right stuff or the wrong stuff in the bins.
Dice que hizo una muy buena pregunta más temprano de cuando dijo que si los estudiantes se podían educar también y que qué pasaba con ellos. Dice que es muy importante sí que la educación de las de afuera sean también parte de saber dónde tienen que tirar la basura. Que como nosotros somos un poquito más los líderes en cuanto a ustedes que hacen la limpieza, que también tenemos que trabajar como team con ellos también y enseñarles.
Any questions on this?
¿Preguntas? No.
Quanto dos homens, tudo bem, mas eu, na parte da mulher, não posso saber quando ela colocou ou não. Se ela sai, eu não posso entrar no banho assim enquanto ela está dentro, para poder orientá-la, ou antes. Homem, tudo bem, as muchachas sim, pode falar com ela. Normalmente deveria ser no quadro, em cada classe, orientando que os papéis tem que ser no verde.
Como las instrucciones, dice usted, o para los
Sim,
estudiantes.
exatamente, porque hoje mesmo saquei os que, onde estava o metal, eu estava o negro, que é para o traste, eu pus dentro do verde, porque os papéis estavam dentro do outro.
He say like to do like instructions next to the trash cans and something like that for the students.
Yeah. And you guys have some signage, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys rolled out the bins at this campus yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll talk about color coding and signage. You're correct. Okay, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things, guys. It's called garbage can, not garbage cannot. You want to translate that one?
No porque seamos basura significa que todo sea una gran basura. Eso también la basura no puede ser basura y no puede ser.
The whole point of this is, besides it being funny and Oscar the Grouch being awesome, is that this is a culture change. We are changing our entire culture right now. We're starting to look at waste in a different way. Instead of looking at the materials we throw away as trash, we're looking at them as resources. And right now we're throwing a lot of resources into a giant stinky hole in the ground and letting them rot. And so the reality is culture change takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, right? And there's gonna be people that get it right away, and there'll be students on campus that get it right away, and there'll be team members on your team that get it right away. And then there will be people that are confused, and then there will be people that don't care, or they don't understand, right? So know that it takes time. It's not gonna be perfect. You guys have been doing this at your other campuses for a while. This is new to this campus. There will be days when things get messed up. That's okay, mistakes happen. But then it's important to communicate so that you guys can work together to get it working properly. Okay, cool. Do you wanna? Sorry, there's a
Dice
lot.
que es parte de nuestra cultura muchas veces tirar la basura en la basura, pero que podemos hacer un cambio, que toma tiempo, que es difícil, pero que sí lo podemos hacer. Is that a $100 bill?
Yeah. So the whole point is, like, way far out in the future, the materials that you guys separate become resources. Once it's clean stream, you could sell them to people way far out in the future, right? We're not there yet, but ultimately, you may be able to either have someone pick up some of the things you have for free because they can be turned into something else, or you might even get somebody to pay you to take them. Right now, the streams are so contaminated that nobody's gonna pay you to take whatever it is. But that's the future, right?
Le pregunté yo que si es un billete de $100 y dice que mirando para el futuro se puede hacer dinero construyendo y reconstruyendo básicamente.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about what can go in the compost bins. Something that's really important for you guys to know is I'm going to talk about all the things that could go in the compost, but that ACC is not promoting necessarily all of these items, okay? But I want you to know what is okay, so that if you see something in the bin and you're not sure, you know if it's okay or not. Oh, not this part. I didn't say that part yet. You can tell them.
Dice que eso básicamente en el compost bin de los orgánicos va a ir frutas, verduras, y aquí nos va a enseñar qué es lo que va a ir y qué es lo que no va a ir para que sepan diferenciar.
And the main piece to know is that ACC's focus is collecting paper towels from the bathroom.
Y la principal razón es para colectar toallas del baño.
But there's other things that technically are okay to compost, and we want them to know what those things are.
Y hay otras cosas que pueden ir al compost y podemos saber cuáles cosas son.
Even if ACC is not telling the students to throw those things in there.
Aunque ACC no le está diciendo a los estudiantes qué es lo que va a ir exactamente ahí.
Okay, because they're keeping it simple right now.
Lo queremos mantener simple ahora mismo.
Okay, so the general rule is if it grows, it goes. If
So,
it, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Una de las reglas generales es si crece, va.
Okay, if it was once alive, it can go in that green bin. In the, how do you say bin? Cart?
El bote de la basura.
¿Eso lo vieron?
El bote de la basura.
Lo siento. So that means we can take paper towels, cardboard, food waste materials, can all go in that green bin.
Toallas de papel, vegetales
Cardboard.
y cartón. Puede ir en el bote de la basura verde.
The Las tazas de papel también se pueden poner. ¿O plástico? No.
Quizás en el department, no.
No. No, we'll talk about that though.
Dice que esos no, pero que vamos a hablar más tarde de eso también.
Let's get more specific. There's two types of material that is compostable, and you guys as a campus are mostly focused on browns, okay? But there are also greens, okay?
Dice que son dos diferentes tipos de materiales que van en el campus. El brown, el café y el verde. Ustedes van a estar más focus en lo que viene siendo el café.
And I'm going to give you science terms now to translate. So greens are nitrogen-rich material, and browns are carbon-rich material.
Neutral what?
Nitrogen.
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 Nitrógeno.
Nitrógeno.
Nitrógeno y carbon.
Carbón.
Carbon.
De nitrógeno y de carbón. Esos son los greens.
Yeah, those are elements, like science
Okay,
elements.
son los diferentes elementos de ciencia.
Yeah. So again, ACC is focused on the browns, but if you come across these in the bins that you're collecting paper towels in the bathroom, it's okay for those to be in there. You don't have to pull them out, you don't have to trash the bag.
Dice que si encuentran algo que sea verde, café en lo verde, está bien. No lo deben de sacar, no lo deben de tirar afuera.
So greens are generally food waste. Nitrogen-rich materials, food waste. So you might see somebody maybe threw away some orange peels in the bathroom, or a banana peel, or maybe they had flowers and they threw them away in the bathroom. Those are okay to be in there.
Dice que, por ejemplo, si encuentran frutas, like, como la basura de la manzana cuando te la comes, las de la banana, si las encuentras donde está la basura café, que está bien, que pueden ir ahí.
So todas las frutas, vegetales, es bien.
Básicamente todo lo que es verde, de frutas y vegetales.
And verde it can be any color. Verde green is just what they like to call it, but it could be bananas or amarillo, anaranjadas.
Originalmente le dicen verde, pero puede ser de cualquier color, amarillas, anaranjadas, pero que se llama el verde.
Todos los
Todos los
colores.
colores.
Sí. ¿Preguntas?
¿Tienen
Questions?
preguntas?
Puede ir la comida como hamburguesas, papas,
Like a hamburger,
desperdicios.
potatoes?
See, if that's in the bathroom, compost bin, it's okay. That's okay in there.
Dice que si está en el baño dentro del
Sí, porque a veces
compost,
miramos comida así en la basura. ¿En los botes azules? O en los... No, en el green.
en el verde. En el
No hay
verde.
problema, no los tenemos que sacar entonces.
No, que ahí lo pueden dejar, está bien.
But we are not advertising it, so
No.
you will rarely see that.
Yeah. You won't see it a lot, but I just want you to know that if you do see it, these things are okay.
Dice que no lo van a ver originalmente, pero que si lo encuentran de vez en cuando está bien. Pero no lo vayan a promover de que sí se puede y que echarlo todo el tiempo, por ejemplo.
Sacar do negro, do traste para o verde. Se está no traste, você taca
Si lo encuentra, si el estudiante tira la
Una
cáscara
banana.
a la manzana, sí la deja ahí. Pero usted no va y le dice a todos, si
Ah,
lo
ok.
puedes ir a tirar ahí. Si el estudiante lo tira, usted no lo tiene que sacar y echarlo en la otra. Está bien dejarlo ahí.
So let's move over to browns. Does anyone remember what element browns are?
¿Alguien se acuerda qué elemento es el brown? ¿El café?
Carbón.
Sí,
Carbon.
carbon. So ACC is focused more on collecting carbon-rich material from the campus in the form of paper towels. Is the main thing you guys are collecting for compost.
So dice que una de las colecciones que debemos hacer, y ahí sí lo promueve, es como las papeles cafés.
So the main thing that you should see when you pull those green bags and the green bins from the bathroom every day is paper towels.
So, una de las cosas que ustedes hacen casi todos los días es colectar todo lo que viene siendo café, basura café.
The other thing that this campus is gonna collect, along with, I think Riverside campus is working on, is wood scrap material and shavings from the wood shop area, which I think they're responsible for that. It's not something they're pulling, but just, you know.
Dice que a diferencia de otros campuses, que otros campuses también colectan como madera y pavos y cosas así, porque hacen como más construcción.
And I have a question for you, where is that being located in here at our campus?
Yeah, I think that you had me, Jasmine sent me, there are bins in, I think it's 2,000, by 2,000, 3,000, and 5,000. I think the wood shop bins are by 5,000, and I believe there are 5 of them over there. And they're not, I don't think they're rolling that out yet,
Okay.
but they have them there and they're working on the logistics of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So besides paper towels, if you see these things in the bin, they're okay too. Leaves, newspaper, pizza boxes, right? Those are okay. Do you want to tell them that?
Dice que está bien si encuentras estas, como la caja de la pizza, el periódico, las hojas, todo es café y puede ir en uno solo.
If you see the bunch of the pizza box stack with some event, you may put those in the green box, green dumpster. If you don't have a room, you might, if you can tie them up and then put them aside, that will be okay. But if you can put it in the green bin, that would be better.
Dice que si por ejemplo encuentran una de algún evento muchas cajas de pizza, las pueden poner en el campus verde y o si no las pueden nomás atar todas juntas y ponerlas en un lado.
Essa é uma pergunta. Quanto tempo vai passar uma bag dessa até chegar full, totalmente full de paper? Porque
¿Cuánto
eles-
tiempo va a pasar de...?
Sim, porque são papéis, a gente tem que aplastá-lo, tem que sacar ele full, porque esse plástico é bastante caro.
A ver,
Sí, so a veces va a ser 2 días, 3 días, depende cuánto, porque lo que van a hacer, van a pushar todo para abajo hasta que se llena. Lo vas a pushar y pushar para que se llena, porque esas bolsas sí cuestan mucho.
so digamos que si no se ha llenado en 4 días y todavía está la mitad, todavía le
Tem,
siguen
aqui
puxando
tem
hasta que
certos
se
banhos
llene.
que demora muito a chenar.
Y depende del campus, porque hay
Sí.
campus que cada 2 días se saca y campus solamente los viernes.
So, cuando ya esté la vea llena, entonces sí hay que cambiarla. Si no está llena, no
Eu
la
creio que
cambia.
deveria ser pelo menos todo verne, ou todo sábado, porque seria uma semana, porque se tu está
puedes,
aplastando...
no, pero no puedes hacer eso porque si se llenan 2 días, no puedes esperar
Não, não,
hasta
mas,
el viernes.
mas se tu emplasta bastante o papel molhado, vai demorar muito a ficar full.
Sí, pues hay que esperar hasta que se llenen porque esas bolsas le cuestan al campus mucho dinero.
Eu sei.
Sí.
Então, por isso, por exemplo, os 4 botes que está adiante do meu building, eu saco toda a verme, e normalmente não estão cheios.
No tiene que esperar hasta que se llena, ¿verdad?
Sim, mas aí o problema fica o mau aroma da comida que se joga, o cigarrillo.
Sí, no, hay que esperar hasta que se llene.
Yo tengo una pregunta, porque en algún campo he visto que lo que hacen es sacarla en una sola bolsa, la del día. So, en una sola
Como
bolsa.
vaciarla de la,
Porque dicen que a
del
veces
bote
huele
a...
mal, pues si dejan algo así como ella dice comida, entonces empieza a oler mal o hay animalitos, entonces la van sacando cada día pero en una sola bolsa.
Pueden hacer eso también.
No sé si eso es correcto o esperar.
Pero si están,
Pero-
si están en bolsa verde.
Sí.
Sí.
Usar una sola bolsa para,
Y lo llenan esa para que...
para sacar una en el día.
Ujú.
Usar una sola bolsa.
Assim
Pueden
é,
hacer eso
Pueden
también.
hacer
é mais prático.
Yo sé
Sí.
lo que hacen en algunos
Sí, lo que tratamos de evitar es de que vaya usted a cada uno de las diferentes áreas, saque la bolsa de la basura, pongas una nueva y lo vaya a secar, sacas una nueva y pongas otra. Eso es lo que no puedes hacer.
What were they
It was a
asking?
different question.
Okay. That was a lot
It
of
was more
questions.
focused about the trash bags,
Okay.
plastic bags.
Okay, and the compostable ones versus the black ones. And you guys have green compost bags, and you have clear recycling bags?
Blue.
Blue, are they blue tint, like
Color
clear?
tint.
And then black trash. Okay, we'll talk about that too, just for everybody that's gonna watch this video. Okay, so all of these things, todos es bien.
Todas estas cosas están.
In the verde, how do you say it? Bin again?
Bien.
Bien? No,
Todo.
the bin, bote.
Bote.
Bote, verde. Verde. Okay, questions about browns, other things that you see in those bins?
Preguntas acerca de la basura café, ¿no? Y algunas otras cosas que vean o encuentren en estos botes.
Si es comida, pues sacarlas para echarlas al lado.
No sacarla, la puede dejar ahí.
Nomás dejarla así.
Nomás no promover con los estudiantes de que, oh, sí está bien que lo echen ahí. So, educar también a los estudiantes
Sí, sí,
y tratarla de hacerlo correctamente. Pero que si encuentra usted una verde en el café, está bien.
Let's talk about what should not be in the green bins.
Ahora vamos a hablar de lo que no debe de estar en los botes verdes.
Okay, and botes verdes in the green bin, we should not see any glass, that's vidrio.
Vidrio.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, no vidrio. Es muy importante, no vidrio.
So, algo que no puedes encontrar, ni puedes ver, ni puedes tirar es lo que viene siendo vidrio y aluminio.
Glass and metal go where?
¿Dónde va el vidrio y el metal?
En los azules.
No,
And the
blue.
blue ones?
Azul.
Ajá.
Reciclar, yeah, in the blue
Blue ones.
recycling,
Blue
yes. Plastics, water bottles, chip bags, candy wrappers, Gatorade, yogurt containers. I don't know what else you guys have on campus that someone might have that's plastic. A laundry detergent container, I don't know. Those cannot go in the green bin.
So, todo lo que viene siendo como botellas de plástico, las botellas de agua, los envolturas de fritos, algunas cosas como lavandería, pues, todos esos envolturas de dulces, nada de eso puede ir en lo que es el verde.
So there are two different kind of plastic, hard plastic versus thin film plastic. We recycle hard plastic at ACC. Thin plastic needs to go into the landfill because it cannot be recycled today.
And a perfect rule of thumb, it's not perfect, but it's a good one to follow, is if it's something that's plastic that you can hold up in the air and let go of, and it drops straight to the ground, like a water bottle would, or a laundry detergent container, or a yogurt tub, then it's generally okay to go in the recycling. I'm gonna say that part.
Dice que usualmente si tenemos un bote de plástico y si lo puedes mantener arriba y lo dejas caer y cae, debes de ir al bote de recycling.
But if you hold it up in the air and it's plastic and it kind of floats to the ground, like chip bags or plastic bags or saran wrap or candy wrappers, and it's floaty to the ground, rubber gloves, then it's not okay in the recycling. It's basura, it's trash.
Dice que usualmente si lo detienes arriba y hace como, cuando lo sueltas, hace como que flota, entonces es basura, no es recycling.
So when you're pulling those bags, you can see what's in there. And even for recycling, it's important for ACC campus manager, I'm assuming, and whoever's doing sustainability here, and Liz, to know if when you're pulling the recycling, there's a bunch of thin floaty plastics in there too, because then they need to get with education on their students.
Dice que es importante para ACC, los managers y los que están supervisando, que también sepan que si es un tipo de plástico o un tipo de simplemente basura, para que los eduquen a ustedes y a los que están a los estudiantes también.
And to clarify, this is for the azul, no verde.
Y para clarificar, esta basura va a la basura, no al verde.
Okay. Other things we don't want to see in the green. Sorry, go ahead.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
It's a little plastic cups that they looks like a plastic, but they are made from corn starch.
Yeah.
So
So
it's like recycling, and it looks like a plastic.
if it's certified compostable, it looks plastic, but it says it's compostable. We have to verify, but it would go in the compost. Are you asking like personal for like your house, or is it something you have here on campus?
No, we don't have it on campus.
Okay.
We just general.
At home, yeah, so that's actually, I didn't go into that because I didn't want to make it overly confusing since the campus doesn't have anything, but there are plastic materials that are actually plant-based now, and they're compostable. And the easiest way to tell in your own life is a lot of times they'll have a green rim around them, or the bottom of it will say compostable, or the package that you purchase it in will say certified compostable. It'll say BPI, or it'll say ASTM D6400 on the package. But the best thing to do is if you don't know, don't throw it in the compost. If you're not sure if it's plastic or not, don't throw it in the green bin.
Le estaba preguntando que hay unas copitas que parecen plástico, pero que están hechas de lo que viene siendo la hoja de elote. Entonces, esos son compostable, pero le estaba preguntando qué es la diferente manera de saber. Dice que el paquete debe de tener BP1 o L, o también debe de decir ASTM.
One second, the to go, trash
On
or no?
campus,
Sim, I have to
trash,
go.
right?
De
Plastic.
que material, this?
¿De qué material? ¿De
Sí,
to-go boxes?
to go,
O-
to go.
Are they
las cajitas se
Sí,
están dando, las
yeah.
que se abren y se cierran así,
Ajá.
pero las transparentes o las blancas.
No,
Porque hay unas que
I
son
love it.
papel, hay unas transparentes, hay unas que son blancas.
White.
So he's asking about the to-go boxes,
Yeah.
the white ones.
that you have on campus?
That we have.
Are they paper?
Sounds like it's a styrofoam. White
Yeah.
styrofoam has
It's
to
a
go into the
styrofoam. It's
landfill.
trash. Yeah.
Parece que están hechas de lo que viene siendo styrofoam, que nosotros le
Esto
decimos
fue
hielo seco.
Yeah.
It's basura,
Okay,
negro,
trash.
or gray. Yeah, black or gray, whatever the trash can color is.
This-
En caso de que no sepan dónde está ese bin, tenemos uno en el mailroom, para los que no saben.
Dice
We
que
have
no le
that bin
botan
in our mailroom for the phone, okay? Para que sepan ustedes dónde está en nuestro campus.
But for
Only-
styrofoam,
Only the block styrofoam,
Yeah.
not the food container.
Nada más
Yeah.
es como bloque.
if it's
Okay.
mixed with like comida y styrofoam, it's no bien. If it has food and styrofoam mixed, same with recycling. If it's a plastic container full of somebody's salad, it's not recycling, it's trash.
So dice que si está junto con comida se pone en la basura, no puede ser recycling. Si es
passa
algo como
the box que
plástico.
vem com purê, have
Okay.
this styrofoam.
Si es
The box. All the que venha com as computadoras, que um dia desse tinha bastante
el
computadora.
blanco donde le ponen
Sí,
a las
sí.
cajas,
Ah.
ese es styrofoam.
Yes.
Sí,
Puede
eso
ser
no es
trash.
reciclado, eso es
ese
basura.
styrofoam va en la oficina
En la-
de mailroom, en donde está
En
el correo.
la caja negra que dice ella que
Aí
está
põe
en
no
el
azul,
carro.
então. Luz.
En la caja negra.
Ok.
But it's solamente in
Es
the
en el
mailroom.
mailroom, sí.
No.
¿La caja negra o
not
bote
in the
negro?
Es azul. Es
Oh,
azul.
No azul.
es azul.
Sí.
Ok, es
That's a
azul,
blue
perdón.
bin, that's a blue bin.
Okay. Es un bote grande
Ya, azul,
azul.
sí.
Azul.
But
Solo tiene una-
solamente en
El
mailroom,
mailroom
not
no tenemos.
todos azul,
No todos,
es,
no.
no bien, only in the mailroom.
Nada más en el correo. Y eso
Yeah.
ese es el styrofoam que viene en las cajas como de empaques, cuando traen computadoras. O
Les
de
podemos
equipo.
enseñar cuando terminemos
Sí,
esto.
claro que sí, les podemos enseñar dónde está.
Que
Y
sea-
el que dice flyer que viene con comida de la comida china, un ejemplo, ese sí lo tiran en la basura regular,
Sí.
porque trae comida. So, cuando está revuelto con comida, entonces tira en ese bote. Cuando es únicamente para empaques, entonces va en nuestra área, para que sepan.
Okay.
Other things we don't wanna see in, back to the green bin, verde. And also, verde or the blue bin, you don't wanna see waxy cardboards, things like milk cartons, juice cartons, coffee cups, soda cups. Most all of those are paper mixed with plastic, which means they are not compost and they are not recycling, they are trash.
So, otras cosas que también no van en lo que viene siendo el bote de verde o el azul, va a ser los botes que tienen como un plástico arriba que están encerados, lo que viene siendo botes como jugo de cartón que tienen líquido adentro, eso va a ser basura, no va a ser reciclaje, ¿okay? Ni va a ser compost ni va a ser reciclaje.
Other ones that we see sometimes at other ACCs, the gloves that you wear, basura. No verde, no azul, it's trash, okay? Cleaning cloths and wipes. Regular paper towels are fine. Whether they're brown paper towels from the bathroom, or it's like a white tissue or a napkin, or it's a black napkin or colored, that's all okay. But if you're using it to clean and you're spraying chemicals on it to wipe something down, or it's a Clorox wipe, or it's a rag, it's trash.
Son las toallitas, los guantes o las toallitas con las que usan para limpiar si tienen químicos, esa es basura. Okay. No lo vayan a reciclar, no lo vayan a poner en el compost, eso es basura completamente.
Any other questions on this stuff?
¿Tienen preguntas acerca de todo esto que hemos hablado?
Cool. The big piece for you guys, you're not necessarily the ones throwing these things in the bins, right? The students are.
So, dice que ustedes no son los que tiran la basura en la basura, que son los estudiantes, pero ustedes son los que agarran la basura y que recogen las basuras.
Which means you guys are our second line of defense.
Eso
Right.
quiere decir que ustedes son la segunda línea en defensa.
You guys are the gateway between the students and the material ending up at a facility.
Ustedes están entre la línea de los estudiantes y lo que va afuera y el equipo de afuera.
Which means you're very important.
Lo que significa que son sumamente importantes.
Okay. The big thing is if you guys go to pull those bathroom paper towel bags and you see rubber gloves or water bottles, or sometimes in the bathroom we've seen human waste stuff, we've seen catheter bags, we've seen needles. If you see that stuff in the bag that you're pulling that's green, where should it go?
So, dice que usualmente se encuentra en lo que viene siendo como algunas jeringas o diferentes que no sean basura, que no sean parte de la basura, si saben a dónde va.
Seria de diabetes?
Yeah, if
Oh,
that's
yeah.
in the paper towel bag, if it's in the verde, it's
No,
no.
normal they have the big, little
A
bit
sign.
mosaic thingy. I don't know, say so.
It's like a small
more-
box that you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to put it on, and
Yeah.
it's
I
red
don't
label.
talk this.
And that's where it should go. But sometimes people don't throw it in the right place. And you guys are pulling the bags. So if you see that stuff, or you see aluminum foil, or soda cans, or water bottles in the green bag, in the green container in the bathroom, it's trash. You don't have to go picking through it, but it needs to go in the trash can. And then you should tell Liz, if it's happening regularly, they need to know, because that means they need to do education with their students. And if you guys don't tell them that it's happening regularly, then they think everything is going great, and it might not be. Okay.
Dice que si encuentran algo como el metal en donde debe de estar la basura del compost, o si alguna jeringa, o si encuentran algo así, deben de comunicárselo a uno de los managers o least para que sepan, para que ellos, si es frecuentemente, que ellos también puedan educar a los estudiantes.
So we are not asking you to dig through the bins, but if you see one plastic bottle sitting on top of paper towel, you can remove it and then still we can do the composting.
Se dice que no tienen que ir y buscar de entre la basura, que nomás si lo ven por encima lo pueden cambiar de bote de basura y checarlo, nomás supervisar diariamente.
General rule, if it looks like this, trash.
Que si generalmente por regla lo ven así, lo tiran a la basura.
If there's one water bottle, one can, and you don't mind pulling it out so the rest can be composted, then you can do that. Okay?
Pero si es una botella de agua o una lata de soda, entonces sí lo pueden agarrar, lo pueden pasar de un bote de la basura a otro.
Okay. Cool. What happens when the wrong stuff ends up in the green bin is it becomes somebody else's job to pull it out.
So, lo que pasa es que cuando la basura no va en el correcto basurero, viene siendo un trabajo de alguien más, recogerlo y pasarlo donde debe de ir.
So there's you guys, our second line of defense. Our drivers are our third line of defense. When we service the green carts, the drivers look in the bins, and if there's anything that doesn't belong in there, they take a picture of it, and I send it to Jasmine and Andy, and probably Liz.
Dice que ustedes son la segunda línea de la tercera, y si algo va mezclado para la tercera línea, le van a tomar foto y se la van a mandar a Andy, o se la van a mandar a Liz, o se la van a mandar a Jasmine, o al equipo de ACC.
Yeah. And that's not to make anybody wrong or make anybody bad. It's just so they know what's ending up in there that shouldn't be. So that one, they can work with you guys on knowing what goes where, and two, they can work with their students on knowing what's going where. And if they're having an issue, if they have a direct TV dish in the compost, that probably didn't come from you guys, right?
Dice que no hay nada bien, nada mal, pero que sí tenemos que estarnos educando continuamente, que porque una plato de antena parabólica, como va a ir en una bote de basura verde.
Yeah. And so if they get pictures like this, and it didn't come out of a bag that you guys pulled, somebody else is getting in the bin, right? You have locks on all of your bins. There's locks on the compost bins, which means nobody else should be able to get in there but you guys. But maybe a lock broke, or it got lost, or somebody ripped the lid open. And those are things that when we send pictures, you guys can determine, and then we can fix it.
Dice que usualmente tenemos candados en los botes de la basura, que si ustedes están haciendo bien su trabajo y a lo mejor el bote de la basura se le rompió el candado y nos mandan una foto de esta calidad, es porque algo está pasando y es bueno saberlo.
And likewise, if you notice a lock is missing before you get a picture like this, tell somebody so that we can fix it and replace it. Because you shouldn't get pictures like that.
So, si ustedes encuentran un candado quebrado, por favor repórtenlo, porque no deberíamos de estar recibiendo fotos así.
Eu nunca mirei candado acá.
He said he never saw any locks on the trash.
Então, lá.
On the green bins,
En los
they
botes
just
de
got
la-
here on
No.
Friday.
Oh, apenas es algo nuevo, llegaron el viernes.
Oh, ok.
See, they're new.
Es algo nuevo.
Preguntas, questions?
¿Preguntas?
Outra coisa que deveria também, não só para o estudante, mas para os trabajadores de cá.
Para los empleados de aquí del colegio.
Sim, e acumula cigarrilho e põe no blue. Tem um saco demasiado, tem isso aí eu boto para vassoura, porque não é reciclado.
He say not only the students, also the staff from ACC. They smoke and they little, you know, when you smoke the leftovers.
Yeah,
they throw on the
it's trash.
Aí eu
So they
tenho.
put it on the bin, on the recycling bin.
Oh, they put it on the bin? So that would be information to share with campus manager and Liz, because maybe they need to find out what's going on there, and maybe they need to post some flyers and do like a PSA for cigarettes.
Dice que entonces es bueno que los managers que están en
Sim,
el
ela pode ir agora e verificar que tem cigarrilho dentro.
Sí. So ya sabe.
And it's a process. It's not perfect, right? We already said it's culture change.
Dice que es un proceso y que es parte de nuestra cultura y lo vamos a cambiar.
People will make mistakes, but if you communicate what's going on, it'll get fixed faster and we'll get there faster.
Y si ustedes lo comunican, lo vamos a arreglar más rápido y vamos a llegar a mantener goles más pronto.
Okay, we're almost done.
Casi terminamos.
You guys have color coding, right? In the bathrooms you have green for compost, and you have blue for recycling, and you have black or gray or what? And black for perfect. And you have black bags for trash, and blue bags for recycling, and green bags for compost, right? And the more places you guys have this throughout campus, the easier it is for both you guys and your students. So if you have random places that don't have this, get rid of those cans, repurpose them, or put stickers on them, or something so that those colors are across campus.
So dice que tenemos diferentes colores de bolsa, tenemos diferentes calcamonías en cada uno de los botes de la basura. Teniendo todo esto, los estudiantes pueden saber en los diferentes botes de basura que pueden ponerla. También que si encuentran uno que no tenga, por favor reportarlo para que le puedan poner los apropiados labels y las bolsas de basura que llevan diferentes colores también.
Okay. You guys have signage, not this sign, but you have a sign in the bathroom that says paper towels only.
Dice que si tienen señales como estas que digan nada más, este es para toallas de papel solamente en los botes del baño, la basura.
That helps the students, right?
Esto le ayuda mucho a los estudiantes.
And you guys have recycling signage that says what can go in the recycling, generally.
También tienen signos que dicen que es reciclable y que es no. Sí.
Oh, that's my boss. I don't know if I heard the volume very quietly, and let me see if I can turn it up, and then this is the end of the presentation, so. I don't
Check
know.
out the desk I saw earlier, in front of you. I saw the volume knob in front of you, top.
Oh, I was like, what? Okay, so I'm gonna move this forward. It's gonna be a quick 2-minute video. It is in English, so I apologize. But it just is showing you where this stuff is going, okay?
So dice que les pide una disculpa porque el video está completamente en inglés, es de 2 minutos, va a ser rapidito, pero que les va a enseñar dónde va cada una cosa, de las cosas.
Hi, I'm Phil Gosh with Organics by Gosh.
Hold on. Now it's like really high. What is going on with this knob? It's like it doesn't wanna.
Hi, I'm Phil Gosh with Organics by Gosh, a local Austin composting company. Here every day, we work towards the goals of sustainability and zero waste. We're counting on you to help us close the loop on waste. Soil is the skin of the earth. 1 teaspoon of soil contains more living organisms than there are people on the planet. With the forest floor as our model, we know compost is at the core of creating sustainable, healthy soil. In the United States, 30 to 40% of our food supply becomes food waste. Food waste is the second largest component of landfills, a significant source of methane gas emissions and costs up to $165 billion every year. Every day at our site, trucks roll in with organic material. We turn these organic resources into valuable products using the compost process. But we face a critical challenge. Every time you, a friend, a neighbor accidentally puts a non-compostable item like glass, plastic, or metal into a compost bin, it can end up as a tiny piece of glass or a produce sticker in our finished product. Become a sustainable gardener and join our pledge. This is an opportunity for you to have a positive impact and be a good steward of our environment. Feed our community, our animals, and compost your food resources. Keep your compost bin free of contaminants. Encourage others to participate in organics recycling. For both current and future generations, this is about all of us. It's about treating people and our environment the right way. This is something that's worth being done right. My gosh.
So that's the company I work for, and that gives you guys a better idea of what is happening to all this stuff we're throwing in these green carts.
So, esa es para la compañía que ella trabaja. Nos dice acerca de todo lo que tiramos en la basura y los greens, los verdes.
So you saw the bags of soil and going up the conveyor belt and the big piles of soil and compost, yeah? Yeah.
Sí, que si vieron cómo la tierra se iba manejando para arriba y todo iba cayendo, todo lo verde.
Yeah. All of that used to look like what you guys are pulling from the bathroom.
Todo eso, todo lo que ustedes recogen del baño, así es como se mira.
That's what it's turning into.
Eso es a lo que se transforma.
And then it goes back to people all over our own community because we're local, we're in Austin. We're going to Round Rock, we go to Bastrop, we go to Austin, we go to Cedar Park, we go to Pflugerville. Buda and Kyle and Bee Caves and all of Central Texas uses that soil on the ground, in their gardens, in their homes, at their schools, in the parks.
So, dice que todo esto se transforma en tierra y todo va para la comunidad. Ellos trabajan para las diferentes áreas de lo que viene siendo Bastrop, Round Rock, todo el área de Texas, más o menos.
That means anything that ends up in that green bin here could end up in your own backyard or back on campus in the landscaping.
So, toda la basura que recogen aquí puede regresar a los jardines de su casa o aquí mismo a ACC.
So the best rule to follow is if you wouldn't want it in your backyard, if you wouldn't want to buy a bag of soil and open it up and stick your hand in it and have plastic or glass or a needle or a straw in that bag, it shouldn't be in the green bin.
Okay. So dice que si ustedes no les gustaría encontrar cuando abren ustedes una bolsa de tierra que compran para su jardín, al momento de meter la mano, si a ustedes no les gustaría encontrar una aguja para de los diabéticos o un pedazo de metal o un pedazo de vidrio, so, a nadie le gustaría eso, nomás tener cuidado porque todo eso puede ir también ahí.
Just leave you with this before I go, before this is over. Sorry, I do think it was longer than 30 minutes. There's no such thing as away, right? When we throw anything away, it goes somewhere. And you guys know that better than the students because they just throw in the bin and then you're already on the other side of that, moving it to the larger dumpster. But recognize that even when it gets to that larger bin, somebody else is picking it up and it's still here on the planet. It doesn't just poof, disappear. There's no fairy godmother that waves the wand and it disappears, it's all still here. And making the simple decision for the students of one flick of the wrist, which bin it goes in, or for you guys, double checking to make sure it's the right stuff, is changing our entire system. It may seem really small, but it has a huge impact. And unless you guys are doing that and the students are doing it, then we don't have any change. You guys are so important, getting the right stuff in there. It's literally changing everything. Waste is connected to everything on the planet. So know that you guys are superheroes.
So dice que son unos superhéroes, que cualquier cosa chiquita que hacemos puede convertirse en grande, que nosotros lo podemos hacer, los estudiantes lo pueden hacer, el equipo completo lo puede hacer, y que todo lo que hacemos aquí, pues aquí en el planeta Tierra se queda también. Y los deja con esa cuota de Annie y Leonard, que dice, todos, there is no such things away, como todo lo que hacemos, las cosas no se van. Cuando, ¿quién lo puede traducir mejor?
No cualquier cosa que se vaya, dice, cuando miramos algo, debe de ir a algún lugar. O sea que es comida para alimento para la mente, es nada más para hacernos conscientes de que todo lo que se va de alguna manera va a caer en otro lugar, y nosotros tenemos que estar conscientes de que donde vemos las cosas, tratar de hacerlo mejor para que tengamos un mejor planeta y una mejor existencia en un futuro.
Okay. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm done. Thanks, guys. Do you have any other questions? Preguntas? Feel good?
Yes.
Yeah. All the knowledge. It helps. It helps to know. Awesome. If you do have questions, if you run into things pulling the bags, or weird things are happening, students are throwing a certain thing in there all the time, tell Liz, what's your name again? Tracy. So that they can work with the students, because they're a piece of it too. You guys it's not just on your shoulders, okay? It's everybody. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.